Beautiful Monday morning here in the city of Lagos. Good morning and welcome to Today in the News here on Vanguard Live. My name is Ololade Adeumi. Flip into the newspapers for today, starting with Vanguard. Major headline on Vanguard says crude oil imports hit record high as Dangote Refinery reshapes trade flow. Major story can be found on page 21 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tobana says $10 to Japman. Your business model outdated. Dangote transforming petroleum sector. Lastly, Zenith Bank's gross earnings soars. Away from the Vanguard, straight into the Punch newspaper. Major headline on the Punch says Ibas rejects assembly move to probe 6-month spending. Ex-administrator insists lawmakers lack power to question tenor. CSOs urge Fubara to hold Ibas accountable. Tobana says crude supply to domestic refineries hit 67.6 million barrels. Borno terrorist attack victims hospitalized in Cameroon. Loabana says International Day of Peace, Africa does not only fight wars, it builds bridges of peace. Away from the Punch newspaper, straight into the Nation newspaper. Major headline on the Nation says EFCC, 13,000 convictions secured. Tobana says $10 over 2 trillion naira siphoned in fraudulent fuel subsidy claims under Jonathan. Away from the Nation newspaper, straight into the Guardian newspaper. Major headline on the Guardian says 2027 political divisions deepens over Tinubu reforms. Tobana says $10 to Japman, adapt to change, innovate or perish. That's all we have on the front page of the newspapers this morning. Join us after the break for a quick analysis of some of our top stories. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News here on Vanguard Live. My name is Ololade Adeomi. Joining me in the studio for a quick analysis today is Mr. Lee Mohammed, CEO Maggi Communication Limited. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ololade. How are you?
Fine, thank
Hope
you.
the rain didn't disturb you.
It did. It did.
What time did you wake up?
Wake up 5 o'clock. I left home 6:30, but we are here.
Okay. We are here.
I love the weather, but the rain is disturbing.
No, if you stay at home, hunger will follow.
I mean, we have to do what we have to do. A man must work.
Yes, thank God you are here, and I'm here too.
Yeah, so look into a top story for today. According to an article on Vanguard newspaper, crude oil imports in Nigeria have hit a record high due to the reshaping of trade flows by the Dangote Refinery, with the refinery's operations expected to have a significant impact on Nigeria's oil trade, leading to a new set of economic dynamics. With crude oil imports hitting a record high, how do you see Dangote's refinery reshaping Nigeria's oil sector?
You see, about 2 years ago, I was with some stakeholders in the oil sector. We actually were in a conference and we had a break. And I warned, I said, these guys in caution into the oil sector will change the narratives. On Wednesday this week, the man called me. He said, my brother, you have become a prophet. Now you can see what is happening. That's what Dangote is doing is affecting Nigeria positively, because now the cost of crude oil is likely to go up with what is happening. There is competition even within us here in Nigeria. Then the guy chose that he was going to start importing his crude oil, and people were saying, no, patronize NNPC, to go through NNPC. The truth of the matter is that Dangote, as a businessman by excellence, refused to work with NNPC because he knows the level of corruption in NNPC. Where is the former NNPC managing director today? He's in court for billions of naira and thousands or millions of dollars stolen from NNPC. And you see, there is this proverb in Yoruba that ìpàǹpara ẹ̀ olóhùn pajá tájá bá kúkọ́ kí ló fẹ́ máa jẹ. And you see, when you are killing yourself, you think you are killing Nigeria. the guy is likely to go to prison from all indications. You see, whatever it is that you have been given to do, whatever assignment, be it government, be it private, you have an assignment to do it honestly and to the best of your ability. And that is the kind of thing Dangote is doing. When he said he was going to import his crude oil, people were opposed to it. Nupeng said no. They blocked access to his factory, to his factory in Lekki and all that. But you can see the positive effect of that very brave decision. Now, you will condemn me again for being a monopolist. That is the way he grew up in business, to be a monopolist. And there is nothing anybody can do about that. If he's making his millions in dollars and naira as a monopolist, so be it. Somebody else should go out there and compete with him. That's the truth of the matter.
Talking about monopoly, don't you think it's a very valid concern for Nigerians?
I don't think so. You see, the problem we have in Nigeria as a country is corruption. We have a situation where when somebody is appointed into a government agency, they will sit down and boast that this is my time. It is time for me to make money. I don't want to start naming names. Those who had nothing when Buhari won election, Tinubu won election and became president, they are ministers today. One of them had a big party, opened a mansion in Ibadan, and people were praising him. What was the level of his wealth before he became minister? You can't try that abroad. A sitting minister, you went to commission such a building, you will be in jail by now. Whether you've stolen money or not, you will be arrested. Even in the UK or in the US. So you see, when we don't have that kind of courage to challenge corrupt government officials, we will continue to retrogress economically. That is the truth of the matter. And Dangote, who is a monopolist, takes decisions by himself. He goes ahead to implement those decisions. And his company or companies, they are growing. He will sit back and look at somebody that he is going to appoint as the CEO of any branch of his company. That person would have worked with him at the head office. And he will be sure that this man, if I send him to be the CEO of this company, I already have the vision of how he will run that company because they've worked together. Go and check out all those who are Dangote CEOs. They've all worked with him. They've imbibed some of his attributes. Some people will say, he behaves like an Ijebu man, yet he's an Hausa man. Yes, it is what you have that you protect. You can't protect what you don't have. So it's a shrewd businessman. You can call him a capitalist. You can call him a monopolist. That is your own business, but it's making progress.
Like you said earlier, you mentioned there's been a shift from, being an oil exporter to importing crude. How significant is this what does this mean for Nigeria?
You see, we should not see what Dangote is doing in a negative light. If this man thinks that a brand of crude oil, crude oil have grades. The one from the US is the most superior. If he believes that is what they want to use in his refinery so that we have quality end products like petrol, kerosene, diesel, and all that. There are about 17 or more derivatives from crude oil. And so if he decides to bring a particular brand of crude oil into Nigeria so that we have quality products, why not? If government refineries to feel that they can do it, let them go ahead and do it. How many refineries are working in Nigeria today. They pumped billions of dollars into Kaduna Refinery. Warri, if 2 refineries in Warri, what is their state today? They are not working. They are all grounded. You see, when government starts spending money anyhow, and you have somebody who is shrewd with a focus on what he wants, you are condemning him. You are condemning yourself. Okay, go and match him. If you think you can match him, go and match Dangote. You are calling him names. They mobilize these tanker drivers to go and block the entrance to his company and all that. The man did not shake. He simply brought in security men to protect his place and went ahead with his importation of crude oil. There is nothing, he has not committed any crime by importing crude oil. So what are we talking about? So let us, on our side, those who are criticizing him, let us get serious and get our acts together. Those in charge of NNPC, look at the man in NNPC today. He was appointed and he keep talking about how people don't want him there. How, my friends, sit down and do your work and stop complaining. And that is what happens when you have somebody who doesn't know what he's doing, who is not focused, when you have that person as a team leader. We have led teams of professionals in journalism. Each time I was asked to do it, I had a focus. The first meeting, I would declare what we want to achieve there. The man in NNPC today, what has he achieved? Nothing. At a time, he was talking about assassination. I don't know if you are following NNPC and the leaders. He was talking about people who wanted to assassinate him. What did you do to warrant your killing? And so, and you have somebody else who is focused, and you are complaining. Let us just leave Dangote alone. Let him go ahead and take his refinery to the highest level.
So one of the promises of this refinery, key promises, is to, increase local refining capacity. Do you think that challenges is going to face, and what are the key challenges?
I don't see challenges. Go and see the petrol stations that Dangote supply its products to. Fuel, diesel, and oil are cheaper there. Go to them. I don't really know them, but from what I have read about Dangote's products, is giving them out at a cheaper rate. If I know the petrol stations that sell Dangote, I will go and patronize them because of the quality of the products that goes there and the cost. Those are the indices that you look at when you want to buy anything. Is it good? What is the price? Dangote's petrol, diesel, and other products have been assessed to be good because of the quality of the crude oil that he is using. So, what is the problem? But we should also focus on, we should have our focus as a nation. Don't focus on the man that is doing his business and is doing it so well and is providing services to the people at a rate cheaper than what you are providing. So let us leave Dangote alone. I'm not into all this Dangote bashing. No, I am not a tribalistic person. I don't come to my conclusions based on tribal or any other sentiments. I assess people on the basis of what they are doing and their achievements.
So one of the major concerns for Nigerians out there, the everyday Nigerian, is that the refinery could also serve as a double-edged sword, in the sense that it will help increase, reduce unemployment rather, and also push the cost of refined products. Do you agree with this concern? Do you agree?
Push it down or up?
Up.
No, it can't happen. I disagree with that. I told you earlier that go to petrol stations that sells Dangote products. You get petrol at a cheaper rate. Then talking about employment, have you been to Dangote Refinery before? Have you been there? Do you see the volume of people waiting to get employed there? That the place is organized, they are not sending anybody away. They don't go there to or bring mobile policemen to say, hey, all of you go away, we don't have jobs for you. The guy is doing his best to give employment to as much Nigerians that he can give employment to. So you see, there is this proverb in Yoruba that whoever God has created to be a complete human being will surely be, no matter what stones and abuses you throw at that person. Ẹni tọ́lọ́run bá ti dá kò ṣe faraway. You cannot envy Dangote. I don't know him. I have met him twice in my life, not at a close range, but at functions. He's a very humble person. He doesn't look down on people from my interactions with him. When I met him, I saw him moving around, greeting everybody in that hall. No air of, yes, I'm a billionaire. That is what some of our ministers are doing today. I don't want to name names. You are a minister, and so you have become an institution. You are the Lord over your workers, over the people of Nigeria that you are supposed to serve. You must come down from all those high horses in whatever positions that we are.
From your point of view, what do you think will be the most important factor that determines the success or failure of this refinery on Nigeria's
The success of any failure, or the success of any refinery, the success of any refinery, either Dangote or government-owned refinery, is to be able to produce petrol, diesel, and all other products that come from crude oil for Nigerians at very reasonable prices. And that is what Dangote is doing. So forget about all the noise coming from the NNPC side. Before you can come to a conclusion, what has the current MD of NNPC done since he became the MD? Can you list one? Since Dangote came on stream, I can tell you 2 or 3 things that he has done. He's been able to reduce the pump price of petroleum products. He has been able to bring in crude oil at a rate cheaper than what NNPC was selling when in the very brief period that it came back to operation. Number 3, at least Nigerians are assured today that you don't have to queue before you buy petrol. In those days, before you go out of your house, you first look at the content of the petrol in your car, and you will be scared to go out. Even if you do, you can't put on your AC. But now I use my AC the way I want, because I know that there cannot be fuel scarcity. Dangote has helped us to eliminate fuel scarcity in this our environment, and I give him kudos for that.
So away from that, into our second story, because our time is fast spent. The EFCC has recently secured over 13,000 convictions in its fight against corruption. How significant is this milestone in the context of, Nigerians' long-standing battle with corruption?
It is significant because the man who is the chairman of the EFCC today, I've forgotten his name, Olukoyede. Am I right?
Yes.
I am told that he's a Christian, and I have had the privilege of meeting him once when I went to Abuja. He's a complete gentleman, and it's like he has taken a thorough evaluation of things that have been happening in EFCC since it was created. Every person that has headed that place came in, had a large chunk of money, and left. But this guy is working. He is working. You've had convictions, even big boys that were supposed to be above the law in those days. They are in jail now. There is one of them that I know. He collected money from a state government to build houses. He simply ran abroad He was reported to EFCC. As soon as he stepped back into Nigeria, he was picked up at the airport. He's with the EFCC today. And the state government has awarded the contract to another company. And the EFCC is saying, my friend, you have to cough out the money that was paid to you. It's still there today. I give kudos to that man. If it were somebody else, some other folks who were in power in those days, they can get 500 million and they will free him. Somebody who has stolen somebody else's money will walk free and start threatening the life or lives of those he has collected their money. And so there is a change in the activities of EFCC today because of the leadership that we have there. So let's Olukoyede keep it up.
The EFCC has a track record, has been criticized for being selective or slow in their convictions.
I just told you that.
So do you think this achievement signals like a shift in the way they currently operate?
That's what I just said. That look, in the past, once you have the money, you won't stay in EFCC. How did Bizani escape? She was arrested and nobody knew how she found herself in the UK. There was a time I was in the UK. You know me, I don't go outside London. I was trekking and I ran into Bizani, also trekking. But he had security people. She had security people behind her. You understand? For whatever reason, she had two guys, private security behind her. That was what I saw. But if Bizani were to be in Nigeria, would she be able to move around like that? That's the level to which EFCC of the whole has sunken. Somebody was there as the chairman of EFCC. The woman was taken there for interrogation. From there, nobody knew what happened. We have seen so many interrogations. They will detain a big man today. Tomorrow, they will grant him bail. Because the allegations presented against that person is so weak that once the person appeals or goes to court, he or she will be granted bail. And that's the end of that matter. I can list names of those who have been taken to EFCC and they are out spending. I mean, is that openness? Is that fear? That you have some people that cannot be punished for the crimes they commit. But if you are a poor man, they will sentence you to 35 years imprisonment. But that narrative has changed now. We have a new person in the EFCC who is doing what he should do. We've seen so many big boys behind the bars today. They are there, and you can do your investigation. It wasn't like that before.
Like you said, now the EFCC are currently doing what they are supposed to do. So do you believe
Yes.
there are like challenges, next challenges they need to prepare for, they would face right now since they've started doing their job?
You see, I sympathize with the CEO of EFCC, the chairman of EFCC, complete gentleman. Like I said, I've met him twice, one in the flight, the other time at a conference. I sympathize with him and I pray that God will use him to cleanse up the EFCC. That is a hub of corruption in Nigeria. EFCC itself is a hub of corruption, but he's been able to do a yeoman's job since he came back, or since he became the chairman of the EFCC. Go and check his records now. Go and check it. We take note of what some of these guys are doing. He's a young man, he's not too old, a Christian. When initially when they brought him, I said, okay, let's wait and see. But so far, I am impressed about his performance.
So do you foresee any challenge that is currently going to face while doing this?
The challenge, may God protect him. May God Almighty protect him. I won't say more than that. Because for anybody that is doing good in Nigeria, you will be challenged. Look at Muritala Mohammed now. During his time, the prices of essential commodities crashed. Nigeria was changing. Then suddenly he was killed on his way to the mosque. He was shot in his car. That car is still in the museum in Lagos till today. Why would anybody kill a man with a vision to change the course of this nation, to take this nation away from corruption, to ensure that there is development in this country? That man was killed less than a year into office as the head of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So even if you mean well in Nigeria, if you are not careful, you really have to be careful. Otherwise, you see, it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't have a situation where somebody is out to cleanse Nigeria and that person will be taken off just like that. Look at Buhari now. The people rain curses on Buhari, this, that. The same man that they caused died. These same people that were cursing him turned around to be praising him. So how would you really assess some of our leaders who call themselves social critics? Social critics in quote, but as far as I am concerned, they are more concerned about what goes into their pockets.
Our last question as we round up today. So do you think the recent wave of this conviction will in any way have any political ramifications, like for the upcoming election, and or be seen as a tool for political leverage?
You mean the conviction secured by EFCC?
Yes.
See, our politicians, may God deliver them from the thirst for money. An average politician will go out there, spend billions to get to office. And once he gets to that office, the first thing he will do is to recoup whatever he has spent to get to that position. The truth of the matter is that we must have free and fair elections in Nigeria. That is the starting point. If a politician is sure that if he goes into an election without spending money, you know what I'm saying, without spending money, he will win, then he won't be under pressure to steal when he gets there. Because election in Nigeria, you must have money. I was part of Hope 93. At a point, I couldn't go to my house to sleep. I was sleeping in an hotel in this Lagos because of the level of my involvement. That's a story for another day. But the truth of the matter is that we must have free, fair elections devoid of the influence of money. Look at Britain. During elections, they don't go on holidays. It's a normal day. You won't even know that voting is going on. When people leave their offices, they come, cast their vote, and go. Some of them who probably are on afternoon or even evening duty will also go out peacefully to cast their votes. Is there anything like voting that is influenced by money there? No. Even if you have never witnessed their elections there, you see it on TV. I'm not referring to you. I'm talking about Nigerians who have not physically witnessed it. I have physically witnessed it. You can't go there if you know you are not eligible to vote now, because you know the number of years you will spend in jail. You dare not go near the polling booth if you are not qualified to vote. That's the level to which you get if you respect the rule of law in anywhere, in any part of the world that you find yourself. But our problem again in Nigeria is lawlessness. We don't obey the laws. We believe that the laws are made for the poor. The rich can do anything. And that is why some of them go to jail. See a lot of big boys in jail today. Take a trip to Kirikiri. Somebody you know 2-3 years ago that has suddenly gone under. He is not sick. He has done something that sent him to the prisons. He will be silent. I know somebody, a big boy, I won't mention his name. He went to prison. From there, he's in a private old people's home now because he became a wreck after coming out of prison. So people must be lawful. You must do things legally. If today there is a law that says before you go out of your house, you must go to a government office to take permission, I will obey that law. It's just an example. Oh. It is an extreme law that before you leave your house, you must go and take permission from a government agency. I will obey because I don't want to go to jail. I don't know how detention looks like. I have never been there and I will not be there by the grace of God. Why? Because I try as much as possible to be contented, obey the law. That's all.
Thank you very much for joining us today, sir.
You are most welcome.
That was Mr. Leo Mohammed, CEO Magnet Communication. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms as seen on your screen and on our website at www.vanguardngr.com. My name is Ololade Adewumi. Until next time. Bye.